What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us again on another episode. Here today with Foolish to the God. How you doing tonight, man?
Hey, y'all, I'm doing good tonight.
It's good to have you. So before every episode, what I like to do is to give some background on who you're listening to, who you're hearing from. I like to give a sample of their work so you can just understand a little bit more and kind of hear where they're coming from and what they're talking about has led to. So that's going to play now. If you'd rather get straight to the interview, the time code is going to be on screen now.
Leaving all of her friends in the cold. I can take a hit off the molly. Slowly all my money getting on. I can tell a bitch not sorry. Baby, I can hear it in your tone. Baby, I'm a roll kamikaze. Stay with the gang, no hat on my jacket. Pass my way and pay for the casket. Dig on my grave, then pray with the pastor. Foolish to God, I'm foolish to bastard. I'm jumping sauce, that foolish stay macking. Words and I'm spitting, sit down and unpack them. Running the world, I'm running the games. Purple pickles, scare the pussies away. Yeah. Okay. Shawty can't speak my language. I speak true love at the nightclub. Type of romance that'll hook you like a good joke. You know me, I said walk out your nice cups. Shawty can't speak my language. Speak true love at the nightclub. Type of romance that'll hook you like a good joke. You know me, yeah. You know me, okay. You know me, yeah.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you didn't listen to it, then you're breaking my heart. Just kidding. So, yeah, man, let's get into it. How long have you been making music?
Releasing music, I'd say I've been a year, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, somewhere around there. I would say, like, I started releasing music around this time, like my junior year, so like 2 years ago. I'd say, yeah.
Yeah. So, have you always been interested in music, or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I always had a passion for, like, music. Like, music was kind of just always around me. And, I mean, there was a lot of things going on, like, when I was a kid. So, just, like, music was kind of just always there. And so, I'm just glad I get to make it.
Yeah. You said there are a lot of things going on. Is it type of thing? I hear a lot from artists of every type. Anybody who really loves music. Type of thing where it was like an escape? Or?
Yeah, it was definitely an escape. If there was, like, if I was just feeling a certain way, music was just up me. It would just, like, bring me up.
Yeah. What type of music you listen to?
When I was a kid, like, right now, I listen to a lot of, like, mixed. I listen to, like, rap. I listen to rock. I listen to R&B. I listen to all sorts now. But when I was a kid, I listened to a lot of, like, Imagine Dragons, Maroon 5. What else? The Score. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Don't know The Score.
Who else? Oh, One Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was their really famous song?
Oh.
They had. I didn't listen to them much, but I know one song specifically. Was it Counting Stars?
Counting Stars.
Was that
that's
it?
What it was.
Yeah. All those songs, like, in those years.
Yeah.
Like young age.
Avicii
too. All those.
Coldplay.
Yep. Yeah. Those went crazy.
Yep.
Those were in your feelings song music. Yeah. So then, for anybody who doesn't know you at all, I have listeners who aren't in Hawaii, you know, anybody in Hawaii who hasn't met you or found your stuff yet. How would you describe your music sound?
My music sound? It's like melodic trap, or like, well, I'm very versatile, so I do a lot of different stuff. Like, I've done like hard rock, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
I've done like Marilyn Manson type rock music. I've done like soft R&B. So I guess like my sound is just versatile, you know. You kind of just pick a song and see what you get.
Yeah. So then you said you've been releasing music for about a year now.
Yeah, about a year and a half.
A year and a half. What spurred that on?
Okay, so what spurred that on was I think it was like COVID. Like my sophomore year, you know, it was COVID, you know, shit was depressing, and I remember I had seen my friend post like something about like a music something, and I clicked on it, and it was a kid at my school that was making music, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like, I should do that too. And then I started talking to him. DMC Knack is who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah,
it's my friend. And
is that Dorian?
Yeah, Dorian.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've known Dorian for a little bit. We don't really talk as much anymore, but it's all right. And so, you know, I kind of was just doing my own thing. You know, I would get like beats off YouTube, and I would just like write lyrics and kind of just like sing them to myself.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I started. And I remember I would start like posting about it, and it was probably really cringe, but you know, my friends noticed, and my friends were like, because I was going to a private school. I was going to Kamemel. I was living in the dorms. And so I remember when I got back to the dorms.
Is that the one just down the road?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
And I remember that when I got back to the dorms, they were all hyped. They're like, oh, my God, Noah's a rapper now. Noah's a rapper. Wow. And they would ask me to freestyle for them or record with them. And I would get really nervous because, you know, I wasn't really like serious. Like, I was serious about it, but like I didn't know what to do. So I was just kind of like, I felt like I was lying to them in a sense. And so eventually I got kicked out of the dorms actually. And I kind of had to, I wanted to get more serious about music. So I had got me a mic. I had a laptop. I'm making a laptop, and I was recording. I was just like recording like stems on Soundtrap. I would record stems on Soundtrap, and I would send them to my friend Cali Kodira.
Oh yeah, I love Cali Kodira.
Yeah, Cali's my manager.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so, whatchamacallit? What was I saying? I would
recording stems.
Yeah. I would record stems, and I would send it to him. I'd email it to him. I'd separate it like, you know, hook, main vocals, you know, ad libs, whatever, beat, and I would send it to him. And I had actually met Cali through. I was part of this group. It was kind of like Hawaii Upcoming Artists, but it was a little bit smaller. And we would do like we'd have like a little board for artists. Artists would submit like their name, you know, some songs, like a little background info on them.
Yeah.
And we'd make like a little post like, hey, you know, check out this artist, you know. And I remember Cali. We did it for Cali, and I remember at the time I didn't really have any artist friends, you know, besides like Dorian, I guess. And so I kind of was just reaching out to different artists. I remember I had reached out to like Ro at one time. Yeah. Because, you know, I was just going through the list, and I was just checking out like whose music sounded fire, and I was like, oh, Ro's music sounded fire. I'm gonna,
for sure,
you know, hit him up. Cali sounded fire. I hit him up. I had another artist, Cy the Dawn. Shout out Cy the Dawn. I hit him up. And I kind of was just hitting up a bunch of artists at one time. It was just like 4 or 5 artists. And I got a response back from Cy. I got a response back from Cali. And Cali was like, hey, bro, if you send me your music, I can mix it here. And then I was like, okay. So I did that. And he wasn't charging. And so I was like, okay. And then I would just do it continuously. And he kind of became like who I would go to mix my music. Yeah. And then, you know, we ended up growing a relationship, you know, like a mutual relationship of like trust and respect. And we were just like genuinely happy for the other person to succeed, you know?
Yeah, that's dope. That's the best relationship.
Yeah. And so I was sending it to him, mixing my music, and I would get it back and I'd release it on SoundCloud. That's where I was at first. I was on SoundCloud. And I would kind of get a little bit clowned on because I was like, oh no, the SoundCloud rapper, wow. Yeah. Who's this foolish to God guy? What the hell?
Yeah, it kind of comes with a stigma when you're doing that, in like high school especially, you know, trying to do that. Mm-hmm. People who don't really understand or like know too much about it or know people doing that. Yeah. There's kind of an aspect to that. Mm-hmm. But I get exactly what you're saying of how when you said you started, people would ask you for this, that, or whatever. Hey, record me. Yeah. And you said you were like, you kind of, I forget what you said. You said you felt like.
I felt like I was just like lying to them in a sense.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Because when I started, it was dumb similar. Whereas I had shooting music videos is what I started with. And I just didn't know what I was doing. I just wanted to because I'd seen it happening, and I was like, I love that. I want to do that. That's so cool. But I had no clue what I was doing.
I always wanted to get into like videography, just like Honestly, I'm like in love with any type of art. Like I feel like I can find all types of art beautiful.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
And so like because of that, I always looked into like videography. I looked into like 4 different, because I had like a little phase for each of them.
Yeah.
I like dabbled in each, and so like I had like a sketching phase. I would sketch a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I tried getting into painting at one time. I completely suck at painting.
Yep. Same.
Painting, I have so much respect for painters because painting is so like hard to understand, and that's coming from a person who like understands art, you know. And painting is just like extremely hard. And then
it is so hard.
And then I tried cinematography. I tried like I'd watch like YouTube videos on it and like screenwriting and all this other stuff, and I just realized, man, I don't have money for a camera. So.
That is one of the bad parts about this. Is it's just renting or buying. It's just so fucking expensive. It's like, So I love it. I just happened to stumble. I had a camera in my hand since I was young, just like fucking around taking pictures by chance because my mom had one, and I would just borrow it and go take pictures. So I like photography, and then I saw when I was like in high school, I saw someone shooting a music video, and I was like, I want to do that. That's where it kind of sparked, and I was in love with it ever since then. I got lucky, just one of those things where it just clicks. You know, you're made to do it. You're gonna die doing it, but it's so expensive. It kind of sucks. It's like it forces me to be an entrepreneur, and that's cool because I've always loved making money and whatever, buying shoes, reselling them, whatever, you know, to make money. I liked that, but having to learn how to intersect that with my art, that has been mad tough with me. We're talking about Coffee. He helped me with that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He just gave me great advice on how to do it because I want to do it full time. You know.
That's cool.
Ultimately, that's the goal, is to do it full time.
Man.
Just 'cause, yeah.
The things I do, if I had a camera and I knew like what to do. Yeah. Like I'd be making movies, bro. Like I always wanted to make movies when I was a kid.
Yeah. Oh man, I could talk to you. Oh, I could fucking talk for hours about cinematography. Hell yeah. I love that shit. Yeah. Oh, all right. So, fuck. I had the perfect question that I want to ask, but now it got into a rabbit hole and I lost it. I always fucking do that.
All good.
Fuck. I forgot what it was, and I was geeked to ask it. That's fine though. So, you said that you've dabbled in like different types of art. You specifically said 4. What do you think? Where does that come from?
What was it?
You dabbling in like just all different types of art and like loving just art in general. Where does that come from?
I think it was because like when I was young, I used to read a lot because I actually was I was under proficient in reading and writing. So my mom would send me to Kumon, and I liked Kumon, you know, but it was kind of boring. You just read like, what is that one, like Aesop fables all day, you know, and like the Muffin Man goes down the road, and but you know, it helped me read, and by like the first grade I was like over proficient in reading and writing, and so because you know I had fallen in love with reading, I would like write my mom. I would like write a little story on like a piece of printer paper, and it would be folded like hamburger style, and on one side it would have like a story, and on the other side I'd have like a picture. I'd have like the cover and the back cover, and I'd like let my mom read it, and then like eventually like I asked my teacher if I could put it in the like the classroom like bookcase. Yeah. And then I would just keep writing like basically like little folded piece of paper books. And so ever since then, like it just kind of made me happy that it made other people happy, you know? Yeah. And so that's kind of just where the love for art came from.
Your mom probably loved getting those.
I hope so. I mean, I don't remember. Yeah. I just remember writing the books. I don't remember like if anyone liked them or not. Yeah.
I feel like that's the type of thing that parents appreciate a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like in general, seeing people have an appreciation for art and shit is different than having an appreciation for a lot of other shit, you know? I feel like it just says a lot about someone's kind of personality and like being,
Yeah.
you know, being able to appreciate art.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the question from earlier. With your music, you were talking a lot about steps you took from like starting to where you saw Dorian, I forget,
DMC Neck.
DMC Nat releasing music in high school. You saying that's cool, starting it, you know, getting your laptop, getting the mic, then working with Calico Dara. So can you tell me a bit about what your like personal progression with your skill level has been like what you've learned, hurdles, shit like that?
Well, so like I said, you know, music was always around me. So I used to play a lot of instruments like in middle school. I used to be in the band class, orchestra class. I played the violin, the baritone, the viola, and so like I kind of knew a little bit about what music is.
Yeah.
And you know, like me listening to music all my life and that being like my escape, I knew what I wanted it to sound like. And I guess I didn't really need help in that department so much. I guess I needed more help in like how to put that vision on like paper, or I guess, you know, like an audio wave.
Technical skills.
Yeah, like technical skills. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect and I'm you know, I'm maxed out my stats in fucking lyrical writing or you know, production. It's more like I know what I want and I'm happy with what I got, and if I can make that better and listen to other people's opinions about it, then I feel like those opinions are valid, and you know, I try to incorporate them.
Yeah. So what would you say is then your favorite part about being an artist?
My favorite part about being an artist is honestly like meeting people and just like getting to know like how their mind works, because then it kind of forces me as an artist to be like, wow, that dude really makes some sense, and that dude like has it going for him. Like maybe there's something here I can work with. You get to know them better, and you know, you understand how they think and how their creative process goes, and you can incorporate it to yourself, and you know, it helps both parties. You know, it's like a I don't know the word, but it's like a
mutual
relationship. Yeah. It's like you kind of understand where they're coming from, their point of view, and they understand, or hopefully they understand your point of view after, and it's just beautiful. It's just an exchange of thoughts.
Yeah. So when you say when you talk about being able to incorporate that into your own work, so to me, that immediately tells me that you're somebody who's looking to improve in your work, and you're looking to make it better.
Oh yeah, I'm always looking for that.
Yeah. So what are you taking step towards? Like, do you have goals with this? Or some people do, and some people choose to kind of keep goals out of it and just do it because they enjoy it.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I do it because I enjoy it. Obviously, I enjoy it. Or else I wouldn't be like investing money into it, or you know, just doing the things that some people aren't ready to do yet. You know, and but at the same time, it's like I also have goals, and some of those goals, you know, they're a little big, but I don't think it's anything that I can't work towards. You know, like one of my goals would probably be like, you know, hopefully I can sign to somewhere good, and you know, I mean, I think that's what every artist who's at least a little bit serious wants. You know, is, oh yeah, I want that record label to pick me, and you know, that's what I want. Yeah. But I guess I want it more because I feel like there's like people around me that like you almost don't ever want to see them struggle, you know, and so you kind of just want to just carry all their burdens on your own, you know, and so that's kind of why I do it. It's just like hopefully we can all just, you know, be burden free someday.
Huh. Could you explain a bit more about what you mean by kind of what lane you were going when you said there's people around you who you don't want to see them struggle?
Just like, you know, I feel like hardships happen to a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think there's nothing now that's happened that I'm really like, oh, I got to do this because that happened. It's more so I got to do it because it's going to happen, and when it does
Yeah.
happen, I want to be prepared for
Yeah.
it, you know?
Oh, so you were saying that in a sense of like it's your motivation.
Yeah, it's like for example, Cali always talks about how he wants generational wealth
Facts.
for his his descendants, and that's kind of what I want in a sense, where it's more like in a present tense, where it's like the people that are around me now, I want to see them succeed, so I gotta succeed so that it motivates them to succeed, and when they succeed, we can both be successful and just like live the life we always wanted to live, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That. I feel like a lot of the reason why a lot of artists do this, artists of whatever medium, whether it be like video, music, sculpture, painting, whatever. I feel like a lot of that boils down to that, you know? When it comes to the kind of like wanting success side of things. So, in order for me to be able to kind of get to know you better, because that's one of the things I really love doing with these interviews is being able to just understand better. With that, you're touching into the subject topic, combine those words. You're touching into that aspect of like what matters to you and why you do what you do with this. What would you say are some of the most important things and like the most important thing to you in life?
I think the most important thing to me in my life is like my brother, my youngest brother. His name is Nation. He's 5, and I think the reason he's so important to me, I mean, obviously he's my brother. That's obviously why he would be important to me. But I think the reason most is because my brother, he's very similar to like how I was as a kid. Like we have very like similar personalities and like similar interests, and you know, and so I look at him and I think like about all the things that I've been through in life, and I'm like, wow, like, you know, I'm not like a great role model. So I think trying to aim to like be successful in life kind of helps me to like, sorry, I'm trying to explain this.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying completely.
It helps me to know that I can eventually help him in life to be better than I was, you know?
So I get exactly what you're saying, because I feel like really similar with my little sister, and she's older. Like we have closer ages, but I feel a very similar way. So sometimes when I look at like me and my little sister's relationship, there's two things along those lines that you're talking about that kind of come into my mind. Yeah. One, it's like I would love to be able to succeed financially and numbers wise, career wise, but then also it's like there's an aspect of that. Yeah. And then there's an aspect of, say like that didn't happen, or say that's something, because I'm never going to stop chasing this, you know? Yeah. So say it never happens. Yeah. And I can't guarantee that it'll ever happen. It's like, what will I leave her at the end of the day? That's why I believe like you got to work twice as hard if you want to be a true successful artist, because you have to ensure that your career will succeed, right? That's the reason you're doing it, right? Is you want your career to succeed. But also, if it doesn't succeed, I mean, you'd be a fucking fool to think like, oh, I'm only gonna like bank on this one idea, but if it fails and if it falls through, you'll do the opposite of what you wanted, and you'll put your descendants into generational debt, you know, because you failed. You have no money now because you spent it all in your career, and you know, and you're just setting your loved ones up for, you know, heartache and pain. Yeah. And so you got to work twice as hard to not only succeed in your career, but also if you do fail, then at least you can leave them something. You at least earn something else, you know? Yeah. So then 2 questions based off of that. The first is, you've mentioned now generational wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've mentioned not putting all your eggs in one basket. So, like, say music doesn't take off,
Yeah.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you pursuing, or do you want to pursue in the future, like, other means of success?
I think if it does fall through, you know, it is what it is. If it falls through, which,
Or even if it doesn't,
it's never gonna fall through, because you know, I don't believe that it's ever gonna fall through. And so I think for me, if I were to ever pursue another career, it would still be linked to music in some way, shape, or form. You know, if I got to be a producer, if I got to be an engineer, you know, like I said, I'm going to college for music production. You know, at least I have a college degree.
That's
I can show a label, hey, I got this college degree. Can I work at something?
Yep.
You know, and then you can build your ladder up. You know, I'm storming the castle from 2 gates.
Yeah, because that's similar to what I'm trying to pursue. I'm still always looking at how I can. Because you're exactly what you said, how you don't want to bank on one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly my thing, where I was only doing music videos up until last year, and I was getting, but I always thought, I was like, I know it's dumb hard to have a living just shooting music videos.
Yep.
Unless you're like
Absolutely.
top 0.001%, you're not going to have, like, it's going to be crazy hard to have a livable.
Especially in Hawaii, where like some dudes, like, they don't like know if they're gonna make it, so they don't want to bank on hella money for a music video. Which it's to them, they're thinking, oh, this guy, you know, is so expensive. But to you, it's like, well, this actually is a good deal, you know, because it takes that, you know, it takes you know, your time, because you're working as a videographer. Your only means of revenue is through that, you know, and it takes time out of your day. It takes, you know, all this equipment.
Yeah, so. It's most places besides like LA, like Atlanta, other like massive entertainment
there
cities.
You could probably be like, you know, full time.
But it's also tough because that's where everybody knows that. So that's where everybody goes, you know? So
that's true.
So that's kind of why, like, I got real lucky, like, with these interviews. I just started them because I enjoyed, I for a while, I thought that
these interviews are fun.
Yeah, they're dumb fun. For a while, I thought, like, oh, it'd be cool to interview an artist who I shoot a music video or who I work with. And then it just kind of developed to where, like, this is also an avenue that I want to pursue a career in, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, someday get a sponsor, something like that. You know, if I can
cool.
if I can get the numbers up, because that's all sponsors care about. But yeah, that leads me into the next question.
Okay.
So, I think about this a lot for myself. Where do you feel like you are in your career? Like, in terms of, you know, your whole life, you're going to be walking a path, and you're going to be climbing a ladder or walking up steps. Yep. Where do you feel like you're on that path?
I think right now, I think I'm on the bottom rung.
Yeah.
I think I just barely touched that bottom rung. Because, like, if you think about music as a career, right? You break it down. You start off, you know, trying to get an audience. You have a little bit of an audience. You try to work some shows. You work up, do more shows, maybe do some tours, you know, and you work up from there, right? But it took me this long just to get established, you know? So it's like I only walked over to the ladder. I didn't really get up yet. But right now I'm working my way up right now.
That's interesting that you say that. Huh. That's like that's cool to be able to get that insight, compare it to like an outside view to your view. Huh. That's not what I would say for you, because you're already on the ladder, you know?
Yeah.
You're an artist. End of the day. Yeah, that's just interesting that you would say that, man. Huh. I mean, yeah, you're a fucking artist.
Oh no, I mean, I'm definitely on the ladder.
Yeah.
But it's just like I'm not.
I get what you're saying though.
You know, I'm not up there yet. You know, I feel like the top of the ladder is like Kanye West superstardom, and it's like what I'm doing is absolutely nothing compared to that. I'm not even like close to your favorite underground artist, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that, because I feel the same way. It took me a while to learn how to stop judging like where I feel like I am. And it kind of relates to like comparisons, you know?
I don't think I'll ever compare like, oh, this dude's the same age as me, he's doing so much better. Like, man, I see it more as like it'll come, you know, and when it does, you just got to be prepared for it, you know. You just
Yeah, that's good. It took me a long time to get to that spot. It took me
a long time too.
Well, you said you've only been releasing music for about a year and a half.
Yeah,
it took me longer to get to that,
Oh,
bro.
wow.
So you're on the right fucking track. That's dope. I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I had to fucking like teach myself how to do that shit because and especially it felt like the more I learned, the more I realized
It feels
how
like
far
quicksand,
back
yeah.
I was.
It feels like quicksand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it felt for me too. It just felt like the more you learn, you finally feel like, yeah, I got music on lock, and then it's like you look back up again, and it's like, man, not even close.
I feel like it's a balance you gotta find where one, never being like how you were talking about how you always want to like learn.
Yeah.
One, it's obviously never like everybody knows this, but like never thinking like you're the best or you don't have anything else to learn.
Yeah.
Because you always do. Everybody always does. But then like also,
I mean, why do you think Kanye West takes so long to drop his albums? He's trying to learn to be a better artist, you know. I feel like the contrast to it is also like learning from as soon as you can that your current level of skill and progress doesn't like define your value or your whether or not you should keep pushing, you know? Yeah. I think the way I see it is like you kind of gotta, because like most people, right, they'll think and they'll be like, how can I get better? And they'll find a way to get better, right? But I think in the time that it takes you to learn to get better, you should also learn how to learn, if that makes sense. It's like, because the more like open your mind is to learn, it's like you can accept more knowledge,
Yeah.
while also already having an intake of knowledge coming through because you're learning how to get better.
Yeah. That's a great point. Learning how to learn. That's a great fucking point because the better you can do that, it's just the more exponentially you'll improve.
Yeah, I think so too.
Building like the good practices. What would you say right now in your career and life? What are kind of your like areas and projects where you're working to improve, where you're like focusing on?
I think the area of progress that I'm working in, I'd say probably would have to be like, I'm always working better with mixing. You know, I feel like with each song, the mixing gets better. So I'm always learning mixing, and now I'm actually aiming to individually mix like all my stuff now, you know, and not have to rely on Cali so much because, you know, Cali's got his own projects, stuff to worry about. You know, I don't want to put so much burden on him. So I'm trying to learn how to do it myself, and I'm also like trying to get better my lyrics. I feel like there's more I could add to lyrics, you know. I feel like there's because sometimes I want to make something catchy, you know. Sometimes I want to make something catchy, sometimes I want to make something deep, and I just want to learn how to make something that's catchy and make something that's deep instead of having to rely on luck and just, oh well, we're just gonna make 100 songs and see what hits, you know.
Having to learn the technical side of something and then practicing that so you know how to apply it creatively and well. Yeah, man, that's a process. Oh my god, for editing, for video and shit. I could learn, like, I've spent so many hours reading tutorials, watching YouTube videos, and then I think I have something down. Yeah. And then I don't even know the beginning of how to fucking, like, actually apply it well. Yeah, man. Ugh. So what would you say are some of the best, like, lessons you've learned?
Like, in life or just, like, music?
I'll go music first.
Best lesson I've learned in music, just like, don't try to like force anything. Like, don't try to force a song, because then it just sounds like like, how do I explain it? It just sounds like listeners, right? Like, music has a soul, you know, and listeners can tell what the soul of a song is. And if you try to make a forced song, listeners are gonna know it's forced. And, you know, like, for example, most big artists, after their like first 2 albums, people say, oh, they fell off because they're, labels forcing them to make certain music.
Yeah.
And it becomes forced and people know it, and they fall off because the energy isn't there anymore. And that's another reason music's beautiful, because it always has a soul to it. Unless it doesn't, and it's just like industry crap.
Yeah. What do you mean, like, specifically when you say don't force it? Because sometimes I get caught up where I'm like, if I'm on a project or something, I'm like, I need to get this done. Especially if I'm in a rut ever where I'm not really working, like, it's hard for me to do the work I need to do. Yeah. And I'll be like, all right, you just got to take a little step. And sometimes I feel like I have trouble distinguishing what's forcing something and what's just me putting, like, setting the grindstone.
I feel like you can know if something is forced because if you have to, like, if you don't want to make it anymore, then it's forced. I feel like if you genuinely don't want to do it anymore, then it's forcing. But you just do it just cause, then it's forced. Like, for example, like if I'm feeling a song a certain type of way, and I'm writing it, and we, beat switch, wow, going another way, and I'm just sitting there with writer's block for like an hour. I feel like, man, I genuinely can't think of anything. Time to step back. I'll review it in the morning, or I'll review it at a later time, see if I want to continue and see if that spark's there again. If it's not, we'll just keep trying. If it just never has that spark, then you just drop it.
Yeah, that's a good point. What would you say for an artist or somebody who wants to get into music, who's kind of in the position you were at however long ago?
I would say if you don't have money and you just got like a phone, like a pair of earbuds or something, you can use your like earphone mic to make music. I know it might not be the best quality. I know there's ways to counteract that, because I've seen it before. I've seen good music come out of Apple earphones. Yeah. If you believe that, I've seen good music come out of those. If you genuinely can't spend money on music, you're just gonna have to learn. That's just the way it is. You're just gonna have to learn how to do it on your phone. You're gonna have to learn how to do it with the limited resources you have. But if you have access to more, then just completely, use whatever options you have.
What would you suggest someone do? Save up or take a loan out, whichever they do. I know saving up's, that's better.
I think,
or specifically for like that, that save up or take a loan for some equipment that's nice that they don't know how to use and is like far above their skill level they can grow into, or something cheap. But like that they might be more.
But I would say if you don't want to take a risk because you're like, oh, this is high tech equipment I don't know how to use, I'd say get like middle grade equipment, like something user friendly. For example, my first mic was a Maono mic. It's a M-A-O-N-A. M-A-O-N-O. My bad. Maono. My bad. And it's pretty, user friendly. It's a USB cord. You plug it into your laptop. You use whatever DAW or website you're using to record your music, and it had like a headphone plug-in at the bottom, so you could monitor your voice as it was coming through the mic. And I released a lot of songs on that mic until until it broke. But that was my bad.
Yeah. So earlier you were talking about goals, and how you said some of them might be, I forget exactly what you said.
Yeah.
It was something along the lines of some might be a little big. Is that the type? Because that kind of piqued my interest. I've seen in the past where it says if you have like crazy big goals, some of them I've seen some places that say don't like tell them to people. Yeah. In case they're so big to where like people will just know it'll be impossible for anybody else to believe them or understand them or something. Is it like that type of thing? Yeah,
I think my goals are very personal. Yeah. If I share like I have goals that I can tell people, which is like, I want to be, big rock star, big head honcho. But there's some goals where it's just like they're personal, like,
Yeah.
just personal goals that it's just things that need to be done. You don't got to tell anybody about it, but it'll get done. That's the goal. That it will get done.
So when you say personal goals, are you talking about specific goals of like things you're doing right now, or are you talking like more emotion-driven desires for the future?
Like emotion-driven desires for the future, yeah.
I get that heavy. I feel like that comes from a deep place.
I feel like that's like just a male thing.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, if you ever just like, you're just like, your room is dark, you're just like on your phone or something, you're just like, man, I gotta like, just do some fucking exorbitant ass like male thing, if that makes sense. Like, you just have the urge to just like be the greatest, strongest person in your bloodline or something.
Yeah.
Like the shit you see on TikTok.
Yeah. No, I get that. I totally understand, because I have goals where like I haven't told anyone, not because I like wouldn't or anything, but because one, I know I wouldn't be able to properly in words express it.
Yeah.
And express how bad I need those goals.
Yes, I feel that too.
And like, yeah, man, I don't know. Where do you think, for you, those type goals, where you couldn't even really be able to express them in words properly, and if you tried, the type of goals where it wouldn't be enough, like the words?
I think I can explain them in words. I don't think they're nothing like super crazy where I just can't talk about it to nobody.
Yeah.
It's just things like, I want to see like I said, I want to see a brighter future for my brother. I want to make sure like the people in my life are all secure, but it's just like those dreams and those desires come from like a point of they need to happen. I think it's more so that the want or the need for them to happen is greater than the actual like dream itself. Like I don't have. How do I explain that? It's like I'm not excited for. Like it's not like I want to raise my brother now. Where it's like, oh yeah, it needs to happen now. But in the future, it eventually has to happen, Where it's like, it's just certain things. Sorry if that sounded like a bunch of riffraff.
No, man, I fuck with that totally. Hell yeah. So, when we're talking about that need for it to happen, need for that goal to happen, where it's just, it needs to happen. I feel like, when I think about it, that comes from a place of like, views on yourself and also values. I feel like those types of need come from that. What's your thoughts on that? Where do you think that like need, that emotional need for that to happen comes from? I
think that need just comes from like, I have like a natural sense for wanting to like protect things I deem that are like, I know it's gonna sound really corny, but like things that I deem like worthy of my respect. If I respect you, then I want to protect you. I want to make sure things happen for you. And if they have to happen, I'll make sure they get done. And also have like, sometimes I'm a little too caring, but I feel like no matter what, that's just how it has to be, I feel like I'd rather be too caring than not caring enough. Facts.
That's a dangerous like pit hole you can slide into if you let yourself like be closed off.
Yeah, I mean, you can be a very, very caring person without being a doormat,
Yeah. So earlier I asked, what are the most important things to you in life? And we went through that some, and that led into a lot of other topics, which leads me to my next question. Similar vein, but different. What are the most important values to you as a person?
My most important values, number one, is... I was going to say family, but my number one value is loyalty. I feel like loyalty over family, because I feel like, I've seen family not be loyal, I think your family can definitely stab you in the back just as much as anybody else can. And so I think that loyalty matters more. Of course, family matters and you're always going to care for your family, but you also have to care more for the people that care for you.
Yeah, I got this tattoo. Is FOE for family over everything. But I want to get I think one day on the other side, I would like to get LOE for loyalty over everything, because that's I totally get that. I'm gonna switch the camera battery out. I saw that it just died. It must have just died a second ago. Yeah, we'll be right back, and we're back. So you might notice joining us is Cam. How you doing, Cam?
Pass me the mic.
Oh yeah.
I'm chilling. Just living
Hell
life.
yeah. Easy day. All right, so we're going to be wrapping this up here in the next 10 and 20-ish minutes. And then, yeah, easy day. So how do y'all two know each other?
I met him in high school.
Hell yeah. The one just down the road here?
Nah.
No. We met at Radford, which is like by Pearl Harbor. So we're all like the Pearl Harbor, military kids.
It's so fucking. It was so bad. It's still bad. It's just a bunch of fiends and fucking degenerates, bro. That's what it's filled with now. Fucking degenerates.
Hell yeah. So besides just being friends, what keeps y'all linked together still?
Fucking passion. I feel like passion brings people together so much. Similar passions, similar loves for things in life. Like, if you look at people and the people they hang around with, they all have something connected, whether it be personal in their life or a career. Passion is a big drive and motivation for a lot of people, and that brings them together in a lot of situations. If we look at everyone in the music industry, they've had a passion for it. If we look at people painting, if we look at people just doing photography, they hang around with people with the same passion that they love. So I feel that our passion for music is what keeps us close together.
Damn, you rehearsed that?
Yeah,
No.
that was like,
that shit was a straight Martin Luther speech. I had a dream.
sounded like a speech. Yeah, that was dope. So do you make music?
I've started because of this man.
Hell
I've
yeah.
started. He's my mentor.
Bet. That's fucking dope.
I've also met Callie.
Yeah.
He's awesome. I met Coffee. He's
Yeah.
awesome. I met Obi. I met a couple other artists. What was the concert we went to that you performed
Summer
at?
Heat?
Yeah, Summer Heat. I met a lot of people there.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I'd been able to be there. That was when I was in Korea. I was sad to miss that one. Yeah.
It was cool at the end when it was packed.
Yeah.
At the beginning, it was empty as fuck.
Yeah.
Dirty, bro.
They really did you dirty by putting you at the beginning, but everyone was fucking with it. He had a white girl shaking ass.
Aw.
He had a white bitch shaking ass. Hey, if you seeing this, you was turning up.
Where was that at? Hawaiian Brian's?
Yup.
Or yeah, hell yeah, that's a great venue. Places for there. So, Foolish.
Mhm.
So what's it like being a mentor in music?
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't mentor anything. I kind of just let Cam do his thing, and he learns that I kind of just it's like bumper rails. I just whatever Cam needs help with, I just point him in the right direction, I guess.
He says he's not a mentor, but in my eyes he is. He's a very big inspiration for me for the stuff I want to do, and he points me. Shut the fuck up. No, you're not. He points me in the right direction for music, and I like his opinion. That's why I always ask him for his opinion whenever I make something. I have a vault that's honestly pretty shitty, but I have a couple good songs. I'm getting better at it, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just been recording stuff all just like me on Soundtrap, and just we just got stems and stuff, and right now we're working because I just moved here, so we're working towards getting like FL Studios running and hopefully get back to mixing.
What do you mean getting FL Studios running?
Cause me and Callie, we run off of Logic,
Yeah.
so I don't know much about FL because we don't have a MacBook.
Yeah.
So I don't know much about FL, so I just gotta kind of learn about it a little bit.
we're gonna be using my house as a studio.
Hell yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. He's gonna be hey, when are you gonna bring the mic in and shit to my house?
When we get a mic.
FL Studios?
When we get a mic.
Oh, I thought you had a mic.
No, we gotta order all that stuff.
What?
We gotta order all new stuff because my stuff don't work.
Oh my god, of course they don't work. Of course.
Brought this man on.
You
So, what do you feel like are y'all's next steps
My next
with
step.
all this? Yeah.
Well, like my vision of what next steps look like is I get FL running. I get a new mic because my old mics don't work because I haven't used them for like ages. And once we get that up and running, we get Cam working. We get the other party of interest, Coden, working. We get me working, and we just collab. We got a group called YSC. Shout out Young Stoner Click. I've been advertising that hard, trying to get that to be a thing. Hopefully it becomes a thing. Hopefully we get everybody up and running, and we see what everyone sounds like. Cause yeah, these guys haven't heard a mixed sound yet.
I think my next steps besides that is just trying to find my own sound.
Yeah.
I think that's a big part in people's downfalls and upbringings is trying to find your own sound, because I feel like people want to sound like someone so much that they lose sight of themselves and they lose sight of their own sound.
Yeah.
There's a difference between having inspiration and just basing your whole sound around someone.
Yeah.
Because if you look at some of these newer artists, they just copy what, Summers does, Can, Autumn. They basically all sound the same. Everyone's copying Yeet with the beats, the rage beats. Everyone's going crazy over because of Playboy Cardi. Basing your whole sound around one artist is harmful. So my next step is finding my own sound.
Yeah.
And finding my own, just way in music.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel like I see a lot of people fall into that pitfall. And I've even had to stop myself, take a step back when I'm trying to learn how to do something, or I'm trying to improve my craft.
Yeah.
And then I might catch myself being like, oh, in trying to learn from this person, what I'm doing right now or the step I'm trying to take right now is kind of just copying it.
Yep. I get moments like that all the time.
And I feel like there's a time and a place because, it's good. I personally believe that just being able to master your craft includes being able to do everything because every project's different,
Yeah.
But then it's a point of while you're learning the skills, learning how to apply your own desires to it, because I feel like I've overthought in the past how me thinking oh, how do I be unique and apply my own shit to this when really it's just every fucking person's different, Yeah. So just doing your shit and really just making sure that you like your shit. It's if you can truly at the end of the day enjoy what you do, other people are gonna enjoy it too,
Yep.
And I'd like to build upon that. Uniqueness is very effective in catching people's ears and eyes, but uniqueness can also turn away people. There's a difference between being yourself and then just trying to be something different.
Yeah, very true.
Don't be so experimental that you come off as trash or unmarketable. Because you can go with that mentality that, oh, if I'm just completely myself, then people will just like what I make. Yeah, that's true. But if you're really aiming for numbers, then you got to play the numbers game, obviously. At least until you make it, and then you can try to get people to listen to what you want them to listen to.
And you can't fake people enjoying your shit. And people who support you, they'll be like, yeah, I love it, it's great. But at the end of the day, especially strangers, you can't make up whether or not a stranger hears your song and then they think, oh shit, let me put that on my playlist,
Yeah.
And if it's unique, it's unique. If it's good, it's good,
Yeah, if your mom says your music's good, she's glazing. You're not Playboy Cardi. Stop trying to be him. You're not a vamp. You're not opium. Stop it. Stop. You're not a werewolf like Lil Uzi. But yeah, there is a difference between getting a raw reaction and someone just trying to be supportive because they love you. I feel like a lot of people base their whole I'm good, I'm this, I'm the best, because the people around them are just yes men. If we look at a lot of popular artists and even just icons. Like if we look at Jake Paul, he was surrounded by yes men, and if we look at some of these albums people put out, you're just like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. You got any final words, Cam?
Stay true to yourself. The only person in life that's gonna care for you is yourself. You're only gonna have yourself. It's good to be surrounded by people who care for you, but at the end of the day, it's you. So if you don't love yourself, you're not winning. Depression, it's bad, but you can get through it. You just gotta learn how to love yourself, man. That's a lot of people's like biggest burdens in life, is not knowing how to love themselves. Self-love is the biggest thing ever.
That's important.
My final word, I guess, you just gotta see what I got next. Just gotta see what I got next.
Hey, he's dropping an EP soon. What's the date?
Oh, November 17th.
November 17th. Tune in.
This will have dropped after that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, don't add that part in.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I was about to say, check it out. Check it out. You can shout it out. Yeah. So, last couple things I always ask. One, for people who are driving, may not be able to access their phones right now, could you guys say your social medias out loud? And where to find you?
What was it?
And where to find you?
Oh, Foolish to God on Instagram. Pretty much Foolish to God on everything, pretty much.
You can find me at all lowercase YSC underscore damn with 2 M's underscore on Instagram. That's the only place you're going to find me.
YSC damn and YSC Foolish. Out.
Also, follow Young Stoner Click.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, periods in between all words. Click CLIQUE. Tune in because we post a lot of stuff there. Look at the vlog. What's the vlog on YouTube?
YSC vlog.
YSC vlog on YouTube. Check that out. That was a night at Summerfest.
Oh, hell
Summer
yeah.
Heat. Yo.
Is that Young, like YOUNG or YUNG?
Y.
Oh, no, yeah, it is
YONG.
The regular spelling.
Okay, hell yeah. Well, bet. I appreciate you guys' time. It was great getting to sit down with both of you, meet you all, learn about you.
Cool.
If you made it this far, I appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed it. You're able to relax, just wind. What's the word? Like wind down, wind out.
Yeah, wind down.
Wind down. Wind down. Listening to this, relax. Just enjoy the perspective of some artists. People who are really driven by passion doing this. So thank you so much. Love doing this, being able to sit down with everybody. It was great meeting you guys. Stay safe. Drink water. Do what you love. Get outside. Be happy.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
Live your life.
Yeah, live your life, man.
Don't be a fool.
Don't ever let other people dictate your lives, for
Factual.
real. If you let other people dictate your life is going to suck because you can't truly love yourself or your life.
Yeah. All right. Any last words, guys? Anything to leave the audience with?
Follow your passions. If you think you can't do it, you're wrong. You can always follow your passions, whether it be big or small, a hobby or a career. You can make it anywhere. That's why a lot of people don't try to risk it. So just follow your passions.
All right.
Sounds good to me. See y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, bet. Easy day. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. You did the Korean thing.
The Korean heart.
The Korean heart.